Ladies and gentlemen, friends of the podcast, welcome back to the I Don't Be Knowing podcast. I'm your host, Trox, and who I got with me today?
Man, you got your boy Reese. What's good, people?
Hey, just so y'all know, y'all definitely want to stick around, stay tuned, because today's episode is I Don't Be Knowing Christmas. Specifically, I Don't Be Knowing Christmas traditions around the world, and we got some hostility on this joint for you today. But with that being said, before we even get to the Christmas topic, Reese, how was your Thanksgiving?
Hey man, it was a little different this year, but you know we managed to remember the reasons why we're thankful. You know, so that was very special, man.
Was you able to get on the smoker?
I did, man. What I remember of it, the mood brews, man. We talked about them last episode. I went and got me a 6-pack, for the smoke. About slipped up, dog.
Hey, I ain't even gonna lie to you, brother. After you told me about it last episode, my wife went out and got me one. I never in my life would have thought that beer mixed in with banana infused flavored coming straight from the teat of a cow served together in shot form. I never in my life would have thought that was good.
Hey, bro. Hey. It's amazing, man, what the people at Mood Brews have got going on up there, man. It's almost like the Willy Wonka chocolate factory of beer. Like they got some crazy stuff, man. But I like what they're doing.
Hey, I like what they're doing too. I can't wait for that eggnog version to come out. But you know what? If y'all are interested in this, make sure you visit moodbrew.com. And when you do go, let them know that we sent you and use our code, which is IDBK. And you will get a free sample pack of Mood Brew. You can find out for yourself what all the hype is about. But be careful because it sneaks up on you and it will definitely lay you down. Am I lying or am I dying, Reese?
Man, it'll have you mooing for more.
All right. So listen. We about to jump right into our podcast, man. I kid y'all not. I am so excited to be sharing this episode with y'all. I love Christmas. I love traditions, and I love like ethnic and culturally based festivities, and we got all of that wrapped up in this episode for you.
Alex, man, after doing some research this week, man, I think I got some of these that I'm going to adopt in my own family.
I hope not.
I want to. Hey, Lord knows. Lord knows.
I hope not. Not the stuff I was finding. I hope not. But Reese, you know what I want you to adopt in our listeners' ears right now?
What's that, Trox?
I want you to adopt the baddest beatboxers work chart. You feel me? I want to see what the music chords look like. I want to hear what the boom boom pop pop sounds like, because what they don't know is not only is my boy Reese one of the baddest smokers in all of the world. What smokers as in he smokes the meats, the good meats, okay? You feel me? Yeah. Not only that, not only does he produce music with his amazing, lovely, gifted, beautiful wife, A.B. Hill, the boy also produces music using nothing more than his own mouth. Reese, let them boys know so we can get this thing going. Hey, I don't be knowing. Hey, I don't be flowing. Hey, you can't really stay on beat. Hey, with the Zoom thing. Hey, I don't be. I don't be knowing.
Hey, there go that mic again.
Hey, that new mic, huh? That new mic. Reese, y'all don't even know, man. Reese fixed my microphone. Long story short, all the way from North Carolina to California, where I'm located. Reese was like, man, what you talking about? Just hit these 2 buttons and that'll fix your whole microphone. 8 years. 8 years of struggling with the microphone being low in one ear.
Holding grudges.
Holding grudges. For 8 years, holding grudges. And Reese was like, man, just try this. And it worked. Okay. So like I said, I'm your host, Trox. This is my co-host, your boy Reese. And before we get into our topics, we want to make sure that y'all are fully getting the I Don't Be Knowing experience. And to do so, you need to follow us on IG at IDontBeKnowing. You can specifically follow Reese at
Smoking Hills 336.
That's right. So make sure you follow Reese. You can see what the product look like. In addition to that, all the big social medias, your Facebooks, your YouTubes, you can just simply type in hashtag IDontBeKnowing. And we were so lucky to get the approval from Apple iTunes, Spotify, and we're currently working on Amazon and a few more. And you can go and find the podcast, and it is IDontBeKnowing, spelled exactly correct. So make sure you go check us out. Episode 1 is up, the teasers are up, and the bonus content is coming. We're so glad you took time to come and hang out with us today. So before we do that, we do want to tell you that next week you want to chime in to the next episode, and the next episode is literally called I Don't Be Knowing the Smoke. And I'm not even going to really tell you too much about it. Just know when we say the smoke, we mean the smoke. Okay, so come find out which smoke we're talking about. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Super special guest going to be involved on that one, so make sure you come through. All right, now we're going to get into the headlines portion of tonight's episode. First and foremost, Reese, did you see what your boy King James got on that contract situation out here in LA?
That's me sleep, man. I don't care about that mess, man. That's me sleep.
Okay, so honestly,
I did see.
You don't care about $1.36 pennies per second, $82 per minute, $4,891 per hour, $117,000 per day. That doesn't matter to you?
Not to me, it don't. Shoot, what's that doing for me? Hey, man, it don't even make no sense, man.
Let me tell you what, though. I'm gonna tell you what. So in case you don't know, what I'm hinting at is LeBron James just re-signed with the Lakers for 2 more years, and he is going to make $85.7 million over a 2-year span out here in LA. And the way it's shaping up, he's going to earn his money because he's probably going to get 2 more rings before it's all said and done. I will say I did not start off as a LeBron James fan. When they all came into the league, I was a super Carmelo Anthony fan. To this day, I still root for Carmelo Anthony heavy. But LeBron James has really grown on me. And not because he's like the high caliber, top 3 argument driving phenomenons in the history of the NBA. But it's what he does off court that excites me.
Can I have the mic for a second?
Yeah.
I've never said that LeBron is not a good person. I could care less for him as a basketball player. Not saying he's not a freak either. You know what I'm saying? He is a freak. He is, just crazy. But I think it's just the way that he plays the game. I just don't really care for it.
Yeah, some of the shenanigans I'm not a huge fan of. Some of that soft boy, new age basketball stuff I really don't like. It's the overacting for me. Take some acting classes. Let's really sell that thing.
You're the biggest. I mean, you are a beast. You know what I'm saying? And you sitting here begging for little bump calls and stuff and flopping and mess. Come on, man. Like my thing is, if you're the most dominant player in the league, I'll be damned. I'm not going to be laying on the ground like I'm Nate Robinson.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Okay, you want to bring that up real quick? You want to cover that real quick?
Yeah, because that was a real quick fight. There wasn't too much to talk about anyway. Nate, man. Okay, Nate is a freak. He is I keep on saying freak, but he is an athlete. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You can't tell me. Dude, 5'9", jumping the way he does. You played football, played basketball in high school, so you know he's an athlete. I'm pulling for the dude, thinking that he's out here practicing like he's supposed to. But when you get in the ring and you don't know how to throw one punch, you think it's a bumping cars match, and dude bumped upside your head and laid you out. I can't believe you laid on that ground like that, brother.
Bruh, I'm going to tell you what. I want to talk so much junk to Nate, but that would have been me. I ain't even going to hold you. Like,
bro,
listen.
This is a pay-per-view. Like, this ain't a play. This ain't your backyard. You're about to be a pay-per-view opening up for Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. And your butt didn't get prepared. Any more prepared than that? Come on, man.
Let me tell you what. Nate Robinson, fire your talent agent, fire your manager, fire your trainer, fire any and everybody that had anything to do with this, because they did not set you up. I don't know if Nate knew, YouTube buddy could get down like that. YouTube buddy been putting in work for about 4 years now.
He actually been like training. But my thing,
Like,
you're not going to win if you cannot throw a punch, and he did not show us that he could throw a punch.
Yeah, and not only that, his defense was all over the place. It looked like one of them locker room brawls we used to have back in high school, where it's just you play fighting, but you like play fighting extra hard. It looks like that's what Nate showed up for. He wasn't ready.
Yeah. And then you got surprised when it actually did kind of hurt. Like, did anybody even punch you? Like, you have to get punched in training to know what it feels like. You were, I don't know, bro. It was very entertaining, man.
So all right, let me. I see. I'm gonna take 10 for my boy real quick. I'm gonna take 10 for little Nate. All right, because he himself is the little engine that could. He is a superhero in my eyes in a lot of different ways. What I loved about it was, if I remember correctly, I saw the replay of the fight. I didn't watch it live, okay, because I'm broke right now. Christmas. I ain't doing pay-per-view for some old niggas boxing. All right. So with that being said, I saw the tweet right after the fight, and Nate said, "Did I win?"
No, he didn't.
He didn't. I think the tweet was, "I just woke up. Did I win?" I think that's what it said.
No, he didn't.
Hey, man. I don't be knowing. I feel like that's what I read. Correct me if I'm wrong, all right? Somebody let me know if I'm wrong on that one.
I posted on my Facebook, man, and here's the thing. If I was a famous person, if I was in the public eye, I would be so afraid to do anything out of the ordinary, to step out on a ledge. Because if whatever you just decided to do didn't kill you, the memes surely are.
Yep.
Lord have mercy. I mean, right. I mean, they are so fast, man, and they will gut you.
And it's so many good meme comedians out there. They just be like firing them off back to back.
And that's if we have anybody out there that makes memes or know somebody that makes memes, I want them on the show, because I do not be knowing how they predict the future. How did they get so fast?
Yeah, and let me ask you this. Is it just a bunch of individuals cracking jokes and they just take off? Or is it like a meme factory out there, like a Hallmark house where they make the greeting cards? Is it like that, but for memes out there? I'm so confused about where they show up from.
I want to know. I mean, what I picture in my mind is somebody sitting in a office or a room or a basement somewhere, dark, and all you see is the glow of like 4 computer screens. And they are down there, and they just know everything that happens. Like, to me, like, they almost have to go ahead and make them ahead of time and predict the future in a way.
Yeah.
Like there's no way.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy. But, hey, like I said, Nate, in my eyes, brother, you are a brave individual. Your ignorance is a bliss of a superpower. Therefore, you, my man, are a superhero. But I also want to take this moment to acknowledge a real superhero in our lives. We're going to go back to our high school years, and it did my heart so good this week to see one of our dear, dear, sweet, witty, amazing, strong-willed individuals from our high school, one of our friends achieving her dreams. We want to give it up for Christy. We're not going to say your last name, but Christy.
You know who you are, girl.
You know who you are. With your mother's egg rolls used to come through.
I was gonna bring it up. Hey, but it's time for Christy to shine.
Yeah, we're gonna let Christy shine, not the egg rolls today, baby. Okay, so Christy, aka Mrs. BSN/RN, that is, Christy has earned her Bachelor's of Science in nursing while already being a registered nurse, and she's a hero not only because she was able to do that with a bunch of different hardships going on in her life right now, but she also is doing that, putting herself on the front lines of COVID right now. And for that, you are our hero, because we know what it takes to chase your dreams, be persistent at your dreams, while also really trying to find a balance in life. So you, you're our hero of the week. We love you, and we're so proud of you, Christy.
She used to take my wrist. That's my baby. They grow up so fast.
Yeah, I know, right? Low key, isn't it crazy how Christy was? What is that position called on the football team?
Like assistant manager or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, she was like a assistant manager, but not even like a kind of. Yeah, like the medical manager, right? Yeah. So, snotty nose, fever, bruised ribs, whatever. You went to go see Christy.
She's been doing this her whole life.
Her whole life, all the way back from high school. And I remember, not only was she good at it, Christy was one of the first ladies that I ever met who could really get there and talk the best mess with the football players. I mean, it was like when the football players got on you, boy, you thought this new wave of boy was something gangster. Y'all didn't even know. We used to be harsh. And Christy was standing there and stand her ground and shut you up. She was a beast.
Yeah, but that's the thing, man. Christy, man, was like our sister, like for real, like that's her. That's what she's always been, and
yep.
I don't know, so
yeah,
Christy, you the best.
Yeah, with Christy, we could talk junk to her, but you better not talk junk to her, because there's about 56 of us ready to jump on you the minute you say anything wrong to Christy.
And that's when crunk music was live. That's when crunk music
outside the club, and you think I'm a poor. Okay, so Christy, we love you, we salute you, and we're so proud of you. And Reese, I got an idea about who our next hero of the week is for the next episode. I think this is going to be a standard going forward. How you feel about that?
Hey, I'm down with that, man.
Okay, cool, so yeah, I'm down with that too. So again, Christy, we love you and we appreciate you. Now, before we get into our main topic, I feel like we can't sit up here looking as amazing and as luxurious as we do right now without explaining what we're wearing. So, Reese, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I want you to go first, man. I ain't trying to show you up. Go ahead. Go ahead, Doc.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends of the podcast. Because we're doing a Christmas episode, it's only right that we went out there and got into the Christmas spirits as far as our style is concerned. So what I did, I went out and I found the dopest sweater that I had ever laid eyes upon. And just like we're trying to get this podcast up and off the ground, in order to be successful at anything, you don't stop believing, ladies and gentlemen. So with that, I don't stop believing in this sweater being pure fire. Check this joint out. It is a Santa Claus looking like a kindergartner made it. It's got the tinsels on the titties. And then on top of that, Santa Claus is riding a unicorn, and his little nose is a little red cotton ball. So, yes, I got my nice little ugly Christmas sweater on today. What you got, Reese?
Man, y'all already see what's going on, man. It's your boy, Mr. Reef, in the house. You know what I'm saying? Nah, actually, y'all, I was a little unprepared. Alex want to come out here, peacocking out in all his sweater and stuff, and I said peacocking. Okay, don't take that out of the way. So I had to run outside and steal one of the reefs off the window, but I think I look pretty good with the red bow on the camera's backwards. I'm looking at myself, but red bow on the side, looking good, man. I made it work.
You did make it work, man. That's what I love about you. You're very innovative, no matter what the resources or circumstances are. And he took one for the team because literally when he was out there, I heard his wife yelling, "Stop touching that reef!" No, I'm playing. She ain't did that. Stop stealing my reefs.
I had a red nose too.
Nah, your wife is the GOAT, bro, because literally when he came in with the outfit on, she came in with ripped up tissue paper, was making it snow around him to sell it. That's a good woman right there. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our wives, man. Give it up for our wives real quick. We ain't S without y'all. Okay, Reese. So we're at 25 minutes in. We're going to go ahead and get on the topic. All right, so today's episode is I Don't Be Knowing Christmas Traditions Around the World. I don't be knowing Christmas traditions around the world. And before we actually get into the weird traditions, or not weird, but foreign to us traditions that exist around the world, I want to get into the origin tale of Christmas. Reese, did you by chance have a moment to look into some of the weird origin stories for Christmas?
Yeah, man, I looked through some. It's kind of crazy how just so many people's minds are so many different places when it comes to Christmas, and when you think that it's just a normal holiday. Yeah,
it really is. Just like extraordinary part of our American experience right now. I can't speak for other parts of the world because I don't live in other parts of the world. But here's a really quick overview. Reese, correct me if I'm wrong. Stop me when you want to jump in there and beef up something that I came across. And do feel free to jump in and share your notes for sure, because this is the I Don't Be Knowing podcast brought to you by Trox and Reese. We are a team. Okay, so this is the origins of Christmas according to the History Channel's short documentary called I Bet You Didn't Know Christmas. All right, so as we know it, of course, Christmas takes place or is celebrated on December 25th. And this day is honored by Christians who choose to celebrate Jesus' birth. So we do that on December 25th. Amen. We love you, sweet little baby Jesus. Okay, now, in its earlier stages of Christianity, though, Christians didn't celebrate Christmas at all. And if you slow down and look at the Bible, there are no mentions of December 25th in the Bible. Also, early Christians couldn't agree on Jesus' birthday either. When documenting everything, some people were confused whether it happened in December. The other half of the argument seemed to be that it happened during June and July. And then every now and again, you meet the scholars who say it probably happened in February. But the calendar system back then was a little wonky, and then there's arguments about the seasons based off what location Jesus was born in. So with that, there's a lot of arguments way back in the day where people didn't know what day to say Jesus was born, right? Okay, so then we jump to the 3rd century. In the 3rd century, December 25th officially got recognized as the birthday of Jesus Christ, which also happened to be around the time that the Roman Empire used to celebrate Saturnalia, if I'm saying that correctly, which is an ancient Roman festival to honor the god Saturn. Reese, you ready to hear how they used to get down during this time?
All right, lay it on me.
The Romans had a good time, okay? First of all, they would spend about a week, if not 2, celebrating at the Temple of Saturn. They would have big, luxurious public banquets. Also, they would have parties, smaller parties, and they would do gift exchanges. Keep in mind the gift exchange, okay? Mm-hmm. Then, later, if it seems like Christians repurposed this celebration and then made this whole ceremony of events centered around the birth of Jesus. I'm not quite sure what happened. I'm not sure if the Christians came in there, beat everybody up, and then took their holidays. I'm not quite sure. But with that, whatever happened, I'm glad it happened because I love me some Christmas time and I love me being a little Christian. So I'm not quite sure what happened, but I'm really glad we get to celebrate sweet little baby Jesus. Now, in the 8th century, Christmas had taken over Europe. So between the 3rd and the 8th century, as people started exploring the world and taking their traditions around the world with them, Christmas really, really blew up and took over Europe. And during that time, Christmas wasn't the sweet, humble holiday that it grew to be. It used to be a wow stretch of weeks, and it was a Mardi Gras type level happening 24/7 until the Puritans showed up. The Puritans showed up with their extreme conservative ways and denounced all the Christmas celebrations and just said all of this stuff is centered around pagan traditions and y'all need to cut this mess out. When the Puritans were over here discovering or establishing the United States in 1644, a Massachusetts legislator would fine you 5 shillings if he saw you celebrating Christmas in any way at all. Do you know what 5 shillings is worth, Reese? Take a guess.
5 cents. What's that?
5 shillings, according to coinsite.com, 5 shillings is the equivalent of $100. So
back then?
Yeah, back then. And that was
serious.
the thing. I'm like, if that is true, the inflation is probably through the moon. I don't know what that might look like now. I don't want it.
I mean, that's 100,000. I mean, like, that's a lot.
That's an expensive party right there. That is an expensive party right there.
Sounds about like some stuff that's going on right now.
Okay. So we're almost done with this. All right. So then modern Christmas didn't pop off. A lot of the modern traditions that we associate with Christmas now, it didn't pop off until the 1800s. The Germans get a lot of credit for some of the things that are most notable about Christmas now. Prince Albert, who is a German, he went off and he married Queen Victoria, who was English. And when he married her, he brought over his family's tradition, his country's tradition of chopping down gigantic trees and then decorating them. And then he flexed hella hard on some of them early wedding photographs. He took the most OG pictures with his new Queen of England wife, and they were sitting in front of that big old tree with those big old golden bells and gold and silver tinsels everywhere. And he was sending that picture out, and then the pictures ended up in the United States, and they ended up in magazines. And next thing you know, that joint took off like Drake. It was a hit, and it's been a hit ever since. England also sent out Christmas cards around this time and started the Christmas card tradition as well. My theory is this, Reese. I think the photographs that England was sending out when they was flexing, like, look at our beautiful queen and look at this beautiful German fellow with this beautiful tree behind it. Yeah. They was probably writing messages on those, asking how family was doing, how's the Americas treating you. I'm just assuming that's what happened, i.e. those probably ended up being the first Christmas cards. Okay. Yeah. So then, so that's explaining the Christmas card portion of Christmas as well as the Christmas tree portion of Christmas. Then some people might wonder where the Christian gift giving portion of Christmas came from. Originally, it's documented as it was something to do to honor baby Jesus by remembering when the three kings showed up and gifted Jesus way back when. Also, there were a couple of thought catalogs as the Christians apparently were biting off of the Roman traditions. There was a thought catalog out there that said the Roman cultures during the months of December were also extremely gift giving towards the kids and celebrated children because the children of their nation represented fertility, which represented a growing nation, which equaled survival and hope and a strong nation. So they would literally give the kids gifts for being kids. And so with the contrast between the Roman celebrations happening first and then the Christians going around the world, do you kind of feel like the Christians was like, okay, Jesus definitely happened. Jesus is the coming of Christ. Jesus is the guy we all need to be worshiping. And we're going to do that by repurposing these things that you guys are already doing, but we're going to make it about Jesus.
That's wild. That's wild when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like you're like, it's a lie. You know, not saying it's a bad lie. I mean, a lie's a lie. You know, whatever. But it's like we've been made to believe our whole life for Christmas, and it could not even be in the same month, be in the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just these traditions that we came up with. I mean, they're just because. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, so I got a little bit of a take on it, right? Because I've been trying to wrap my mind around this. Because I love Christmas. I love Christmas.
I love Christmas as well.
Yeah, I truly love Christmas, and I get very excited. I look forward to it every year, and I love the Christmas story. Me personally, I don't care when the actual story took place. If it happened during the summer, cool. If it happened during autumn, cool. And if we choose to honor it during December, specifically the 25th, cool. I don't specifically care about the dates. I don't think the record keeping mechanisms back then were sophisticated enough to pinpoint it to a current day in our calendar anyway. So I'm here for that. I also think it's kind of dope, if this is how it happened, that the Christians saw this thing that may look kind of like sinister or pagan worshiping in its nature, and then remixed it and made it all about Jesus. Therefore, there's a positive expression utilizing this once negative thing that was happening back then, or not negative, this non-God centric thing that was happening back then. I think that's kind of dope.
Oh yeah, I guess once I really start thinking about it, and it's like we're just talking about Christmas and how Christmas cannot mean exactly what we think it means or the reasons why it means that way. And we're just talking about Christmas, and my mind just goes, and it's like, what else in life has been remixed throughout your whole life? You know, things that we live every day. If we're just talking about Christmas right now, I sound like Allen Iverson. Man, we talking about Christmas. Christmas. We ain't talking about all the other days of the year. We talking about Christmas.
It's crazy. It is crazy to like slow down and unplug for a second to think about it like that. Yeah. And then, you know, I just kind of remember, I can't remember which history teacher said this to me, but it was the first time I heard it. Winners write the history books.
Oh yeah.
It's and so you know, that's a conspiracy episode we can maybe get into a little bit later. But yeah, either way, I think Christmas is still the coolest commercial holiday. It's still the coolest Christian holiday. And like a lot of other holidays, I think a lot of things may not be rooted in like pagan celebrations. But what you got to remember, in my opinion, about the olden days, the yesterdays, are there weren't a lot of sophisticated ways to document stuff, right? And if you, depending on what language you spoke, what region of the world you were isolated to way back when, Jesus' story sounds a lot like Hercules' story. Sounds a lot like whatever the African deity demigod version of Jesus is, which technically it is Jesus, based on where he was born. But what you're doing is everybody's seeing and hearing the same thing, but they're speaking it in the tradition that makes sense to them. Oh, yeah. Just so happens that Christianity might have been the primary story, so it wins. In my eyes, as a person of faith, that's how it happened. That's what I believe, and that's what I love to believe, you know. Yeah. So anyways, now I brought up commercial Christmas. That happened in the 1920s and 30s during the Industrial Revolution, when ads and marketing really started to get aggressive, and it capitalized on the Christmas energy. Specifically, up until that point, Santa Claus, who was based on Saint Nicholas, Santa Claus was walking around wearing every single color in the book. He was out there code blue, code green, code red. He didn't care.
Walk through any hood. He good in the hood.
He's good.
I can't be touched.
Can't be touched. On top of that, listen to his OG name, okay? It wasn't Santa Claus for a long time. His OG name, when he used to rep his Christmas set, was Santa Claus, okay? Ugh. So, you know, he walking around, he's like, hey, what's good, Santa Claus? What's good with you, Santa? You feel me? So, like, he was out here.
Hey, 10 toes.
10 toes down in the snow. Let's feel it. All right. Then what ended up happening was Coca-Cola jumped on this, and basically Coca-Cola jumped them in, and they was like, hey, you about to be straight up blood gang. You feel me? So Coca-Cola ran an ad in the 20s and 30s, and it was Santa Claus outside in the snow drinking the hell out of a Coca-Cola glass bottle, and he was rocking all white and all red except for the black boots. And from that day forward, Santa Claus was now blood gang all day, all day. You feel me? So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the rough origin tale of Christmas. There are some other thought catalogs about it. We didn't even get into Yuletide and all the other traditions out there, but that's for a different day. Do your research and at me, and let us know what you think about that. Now, let's actually get into what this episode is about, which are some of the weird and odd Christmas traditions, at least to us, that exist out there in the world. So with that being said, we're going to get right into the I don't be knowing Christmas traditions from around the world. Reese.
Yo.
What do you know about Krampus?
I know a little bit about it. Actually, me and my coworker were talking about it today a little bit, you know, talking about the podcast we had coming up tonight. But I'm sure you will definitely give me me and the listeners some more insight on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep it light because I just talked for 10 minutes. I just felt like I did a seminar. My bad. Okay, so a TED talk or some joint. All right. Do you know where Krampus is from? First of all, what part of the world?
I don't. It's okay. Like from South Central. The Krampus. Wasn't that the?
Oh no!
Isn't that the dance?
Krampus? Okay, yeah.
I'm just playing. Go ahead, man.
Krampus? We talking about Krampus. No. No, so Krampus is over there driving BMWs. You know, he's from Germany.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he was a German-born Christmas demon. He is the son of a Norse goddess by the name of Hel, who is the ruler of what they called the realm of the dead, which I'm thinking is like the underworld, or what is equivalent to Christian hell. So do you have any idea what this Joker looks like?
Any like a midget?
First of all,
small
we don't say
person.
midget.
I'm so sorry.
We say little people. You ain't about to get me shot up.
I'm so sorry. I really. I'm sorry.
Nah, you good.
Little people. Isn't he a little people?
I don't think he is. I think he's actually quite the opposite. I think he's huge.
Is he huge? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
But he's half goat, half demon, and he walks around with a chain and birch sticks in a needle sack. You know why?
Why?
Because his job was to show up at the naughty kid's house, scare them into behaving, and for those who weren't necessarily scared of the hype train that was him, he would beat you with them chains and them sticks. And if that didn't fix you, he would take you back down to the underworld in his needle sack.
Hey, listen, man, this is major deja vu. I know we've talked about this, but as a child, I grew up in Germany. I lived in Germany for a couple years, okay? So, of course, me being 7 years old, you know, I'm used to Christmas. That's my Christmas. And going to a new country and trying to learn their traditions is, you know, pretty tough for a little kid. You know what I'm saying? But I remember them teaching us that we were to leave our shoes at the front door at night. Like, we put a Christmas tree up. I don't know if you were like straight up German, if you put up a Christmas tree, but we did. But at night, you would take your shoes and set them out in front of your front door. Mm-hmm. And then St. Nicholas would come around, and that's where he would leave your gifts. So you would wake up, if you were a bad kid, I mean, okay, I might have been a little bad, all right? I had some coals in my shoe, and I had some of them sticks.
You did?
I did.
Wait. Like, this is if you're a bad kid, or you're saying you specifically had them in your shoes?
I had them in my shoes.
Reese, what were you doing? What was little Reese doing?
I mean, you know, it's one of those things. I feel like it's like you might be good, but you could do better. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna scare you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So it might have been that whole little Krampus notion. Man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like maybe that was, you know, kind of thrown in there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
So you don't. First of all, that is so funny to me that this is so applicable to you.
Yeah.
And even in growing up in Germany, you remember that part, but y'all didn't get into like the Krampus side of Christmas?
I don't believe we did, but that needle bag sounds really familiar, man. For some reason.
Right, let me show you real quick, bro, because like Krampus, his joint looks scary. Now, while I'm looking this up, I'll tell you, whoa, I did not mean to go to Krampus.com. That is something else I'd never want to do again. Yo, this joint looks crazy. Okay, so for those of you out there in audio land, just imagine the Grinch that stole Christmas got no. Okay, imagine Beauty and the Beast. Imagine how the Beast looked in the animated remake, the live action remake, and take that now, string them out on drugs a little bit, and then here we go, Reese. Now, can you see this?
Oh yeah.
Look at that, bro. Okay, maybe not look at that. Man, go to the image. All right, here we go. Boy, my computer making me look like I don't know how to work it. All right, here we go. Bam. So what we're seeing out here in podcast land is it literally looks like an American werewolf, but with a Joker in black face mask with this long, nasty tongue off Venom from Spider-Man with these really high demonic horns, and he is holding a kid down over a basket, and it looks like he's about to spank him or eat him. I'm not quite sure.
Or do something else. I don't know. I wasn't gonna say nothing.
Okay. And then the little boy's little sister is right beside him holding some fruit in a basket. But he is scary looking.
Notice that he has one regular foot and one hoof.
He does have a regular looking foot and a hoof.
I mean,
yeah, you're right.
It ain't too normal. I mean, he need to get a pedicure, but
yeah, he got that Wolverine looking foot.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got that beast tail, and he's got a gold belt on. Krampus out here pimping. I don't know what's going on.
You said he drives BMWs. Is that true? I mean, is that?
I say he's over there where they make them BMWs. He might drive them.
Okay.
But yeah. So there's just a lot of different photographs of what Krampus looks like, and he literally looks like he just tortures kids. And the documentary I watched on him, they do this festival. They do this festival out there, and it happens in Austria, the Czech Republic, and Germany, and some of the other countries out there. And it's like your Santa Claus parade, right? Except it's called Krampussock, if I'm saying that right. And it happens at night, and it is literally a parade of Krampuses. And literally, he walks around and he picks on the kids that are at the event. And he's like these super high detail cosplay Krampuses running around just scaring the crap out of these kids, bro. This is what they do over there. What you got, Reese? Germany built different, man. I've been knew that, but that's different right there.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's allowed to have their own story. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like, we've made up Santa Claus, all these years. You know what I'm saying? So why couldn't they have a little darker one?
We didn't.
You know what I'm saying?
We didn't make up Santa Claus. He's real.
Oh, I don't be knowing. No, I mean, but if you really start breaking down Santa Claus, man, it could be a little scary as well. You know what I'm saying? Be able to see you anytime.
You better. What's the song go? You better not cry.
Yeah.
You better not pout. I'm going to tell you what I'm all about.
Yeah.
Santa Claus about to turn up in your town. Nah. You know what I never like about Santa Claus? All right. Why Santa Claus get to run around and not have to worry about fly zones? Why Santa Claus get to get all the toys and then be the one who gets to distribute them while my parents was out there in them streets working hard, saving up to pay Santa Claus? And then last but not least, why Santa Claus get the milk and cookies on Christmas Eve? I don't get to eat them. What is that about?
I don't even know, man.
Come on, Santa Claus.
Santa Claus, man. Yeah.
Oh, one more really cool thing about Krampus before we switch over. Krampus, that event that I was telling you about, not only is Krampus out there, walking the street scaring the living crap out of kids, it's also a tradition during these festivals that you trade Krampus trading cards. So Krampus is out here probably 6'8", 8'6" with the horns, right? He's out here running up, crowds are showing up, and he's scaring kids, and then the parents love him because he's keeping the kids in order. Krampus is out here a whole NBA center at this point. He got his own playing cards, he got fans, and he got parades when he wins. He's a whole NBA center out here.
Hey. Wilk.
He over here wilking.
Got all the mamas.
all of them. Okay. Now,
did they have a song called "I Seen Mama Kissing Krampus"?
Yeah, I think if Krampus is in there, he's doing more than kissing your mama, buddy. Hey, they don't call him Krampus for nothing.
Hey, with that tongue, you know he is.
No, you know. He's doing a little more than talking to your mama, buddy. You better, for the sake of your parents' marriage, you better be good all year.
Hey, just think about that Jackson 5 remix.
I saw mama kissing. Wait, that ain't kissing. Daddy. Joe over there in the corner all tied up with tinsel. Can't do nothing about it. Krampus over there like, shut up.
Oh, man.
Shut up, Joe. Okay. All right, that joke got dark. Here we go. Okay. All right, so, Reese. Now we're going to go to another part of the world. We are going to go down to a little place that I like to call Peru. Peru is a part of the world I've always wanted to visit. I think the people are beautiful. I think the food's delicious from what I had, and I like places that seem to really be true to their culture. But one part of Peru and one tradition in Peru that I'm not quite sure I want to be a part of, as we were teasing.
I do.
Yeah. Would you really? Okay, wait, we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. One part of Peru that really knows how to have a good time during Christmas is this little Indian province called, I'm about to butcher this.
Yeah, I was hoping you were going to say it. I'm
going to try it. Dear Peruvians, please forgive me, but I think it is Chumbavacas, okay? The Indian province of Chumbavacas.
Yeah, something like that.
He's so supportive, guys. All right. Now, if there was ever an American theme song for this part of the world, as we were telling Wesley during the opener on IG, it is Nuck if you butt, boy. Nuck if you butt, boy. Because let me tell you what they do on Christmas in this town or in this Indian province. They don't have police. They don't have a centralized government. It is a 10-hour drive from the nearest big city through mountains and mud, and it's so high up in the mountains that you get altitude sickness. You literally are just like the wild, wild west out there, right?
Remote. I mean, you remote out there.
Yeah.
Remote.
So to keep domestic situations at an all-time low, to serve justice, if somebody wrongs you during the year in this town,
I'll bust your head, boy.
You save it all up for this really amazing Christmas festival called Takanoku, if I'm saying that correctly. Takanoku is a annual week to 2 week long festival that happens in this part of Peru, where the whole town shows up in a mud pit to settle their differences and an old school gladiator style fight.
Before you even get there, okay, they're parading through the city drinking, getting toe up. I mean, they sharing bottles. I mean, everybody, it looks like the happiest time ever. Like, they having fun. Everybody's dressed up. Everybody's got their they wear costumes. They have these like really, it almost looks like a horseback rider, boots and all these different things. You got little Rey Mysterio mask that everybody puts on, and but man, yeah, it's a party. It's a party, and
it is a whole party.
Oh yeah, and it's like they're marching to the Waffle House parking lot because it's about to go down.
Yo, that is so accurate that they're marching to the Waffle House.
You know how they do.
Parking lot.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You know how they do. I mean, you gonna drink all night, but when we get to that Waffle House parking lot, hey,
it's home.
It's home.
Like Pastor Troy used to say, "Don't be scared. It's home." Okay, so yeah, so like Reese was saying, first of all, I want to make sure we cite who our source was for this. We watched the Vice documentary on the tradition of Takanawa. And then also did a little bit of sidebar research online to get some of this information. And it's exactly what Reese said. It is a 1 week long parade of dancing, drinking, and singing in the street. So just imagine Mardi Gras, except at the end of it, it's a big old fight pit. It's a big fight pit in the middle of the country. I mean, in the middle of the village.
I mean, it's 1-on-1, but everybody's there. Everybody's there with a fight and a problem.
And I'm looking back at my notes. The wildest thing is, I said it's literally a crime mob concert. It's food, it's music, it's dancing, and everybody ends up fighting at the end.
Oh, we fighting. Hey, I told you, next time I see you, it's going to be a misunderstanding. I promise you.
The wild part was, for the whole 7 days leading up to the big fight, it's not a variety of music. It's the same song 24/7.
It's like, didn't he say it was like they borrowed the chorus to each song? Like they has the same chorus. It's the same song.
Yeah, and if I'm saying this right, the song is called the Halia, and it just literally plays on the endless loop. And the question that I kind of had about the song was, I wanted to know I think I wanted to know what the song was saying, specifically the English translation. He does say that it's a song about like being a rebellious nation, and the reason they take so much pride in that. This is one of the few independent provinces in Peru, and they've had to fight off the Spaniard invasion as well as gosh, I don't want to missay this. It was another really aggressive group of people that came in and tried to take over the land. And they're one of the few nations in Peru, or one of the few areas of Peru that was able to fight everybody off, and they take a lot of pride in that. So that's why they're such a strong-willed, strong-minded group of people. Now, Reese, you brought up outfits. I'm gonna talk about the ladies' outfits real quick, and I want you, if you don't mind, to talk about what the fellas was wearing. Okay.
All
right. So the ladies' outfits, they wore these really pretty, like Central American, like dresses. It's cold, mind you. So they're the long sleeve dresses with the big, puffy bottom halves, boots, and they do a lot of the dancing and a lot of cheering and the chanting of the men. And they didn't really the episode of Vice didn't really go into what was significant about their dresses, but you do see them everywhere, and they kind of seem to be wearing the same thing. A lot of black with a lot of light colored threading to really highlight whatever the dresses were saying about them as individuals. All right, Reese, let's talk about what these men were wearing, these warriors. Not the men, but the people who were fighting.
The people that are fighting. Okay. Let me start with the base layer. I mean, the base layer is almost like they just left their plumber job. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause they got flannel and some jeans on. You know what I'm saying? It's some, some boots. But then they got these like oversized chaps. Like, I almost saw like bull riding chaps. You know what I'm saying? And they kind of lace them up. Look like they got some swag to them, because some of them leave them untied at the top. So when they dance, you know what I'm saying? Them things.
You peep that too?
Yeah, they jump a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's like almost like a swag game. You know what I'm saying? Like almost how you lace up your Timberlands or something like that. Whatever. So then, like I said, then they had a flannel shirt. And then they had these like masks. It almost looked like a knitted mask, but it looked like a bunch of Rey Mysterio masks, like almost like the luchador. Is that what they call it? Like
yeah.
Like you see it in a lot of Mexican wrestling.
Yeah, and you said they're kind of like knitted masks. They're literally ski masks, is what they are.
Oh yeah.
They're a ski mask, and then like you said, they kind of have like the luchador style threading on it.
Yeah.
And what about the headgear that they wear on top of the mask? What were you noticing?
What was it? The cowboy? Were they wearing hats? What kind of hats?
They were wearing birds.
No, that's right. They were wearing they were wearing dead birds and like bull heads or something like that. Cow heads or something like that.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I don't know if I want to step to that, man.
I'm gonna tell you straight up. When I saw the buddy with the falcon on his head, the dead falcon with the wings taxidermied out, like it was still flying, with that leather jacket on and the chaps, and he was like just dead ready for whatever. He was like on standby, like, hey, whenever you ready, I'm right here. We can pop off if that's what you need in your life. I was like, I'm not ready. I would be down there getting my A beat. I ain't built for that right there. But
man.
But yeah, and so when you watch the documentary, if you decide to, they kind of go into like who was wearing the leather jackets and the chaps, who was wearing the orange rain jackets, the rain suits to dress like the locusts. Every outfit had like a significant identification and importance to it, and there was like 4 different outfit styles. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That you're like representing that part of your nation's history while about to go down here and fight each other.
Yeah,
I thought that was
and
really
about
cool
to end yours.
About to end your situation right there. So then after that, we got to talk about what their fight call was, because not only did they dress up, they did something different with their voice, kind of like Batman, but the opposite direction of the tone scale. Do you remember that?
Oh my God, did I miss?
So I'll go ahead and tell you real quick.
Yeah.
They disguised their voices to sound very high pitch, almost like dying cats. So you got these big burly men from Peru.
I wouldn't really say they're
they're scrappy.
Yeah, they're scrappy. I say they're scrappy, but I didn't really see no big dudes. All of them look about the same size. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like they had weight classes. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they were scrappy though. They were definitely scrappy
for sure.
Oh yeah,
they look like if skateboarders went to cowboy bars and got into fights every night.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So take those guys who are ready to nuck if you buck at any given moment, and then they do it in this falsetto voice. So they're really just like talking junk in this high scream voice, high pitchy voice, and it cracked me up. But the reason for that is a part of this tradition, like we said, going all the way back to the earliest days of this settlement. A part of this tradition was a day set aside for you to fight anybody that's been pissing you off all year, including your boss. So if you go dress up, hide your identity, if you come and I'm your boss and you beat me up and I recognize your voice, boy, you're fired. And I'm gonna make sure I do a little bit more than fire you. So they had to disguise their voice to completely hide their identity as well, which is very funny.
Hey, anybody can get it.
I truly wonder how many people over the years get recognized as the one that beat their boss up. How many of them get fired or worse,
You know it because he gonna tell everybody. Oh, you want a day off? I got you, cuss. And all you gotta do is talk in that voice again. Hey, you gonna have to use it for your advantage. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, think about this, right? So you're at your job and they're like, okay, everybody who wants promotion, you got to come in and verbally agree to this contract, but you got to do it at a falsetto.
I want to find them.
You're in there trying to awkwardly alter your already altered voice. That sounds crazy as hell. Okay, now he went into like some of the reasons why people in the village choose to fight each other. And there'll be quarrels over romance issues that happen. So I guess like women folks tiptoeing out on a man, or I don't know, a man trying to holler at your wife. Like that's gonna be some drama in the city. It said business disputes, family infighting disputes, and then straight up old school, just trying to prove your manhood. Because this seemed like a very misogynistic or masculine. Centered culture, I guess is the word I want to use.
Well, it might have been the second town they went to, but there were women that were fighting too, and kids. I mean, those kids were, they were getting down, like but the women, they looked like they were getting in too. You know what I'm saying?
I got that like on this upcoming page because I felt bad for one girl. I was like, ooh, she wasn't ready. She was not ready. Okay, so the question that I did have, and I'm glad he brought it up in the episode, was why do they choose December 25th, which is supposed to be a day of peace in their side of the planet? Why do they choose that as the day to host this big fight arena? They had this local villager who was like the head professor of the village. He was the main teacher who like kind of documents the history and still fights to keep it alive. He said basically it's the day of settling conflicts, and once you settle a conflict by any means necessary, you can move on to actually enjoying a day of peace. So that's why they choose December the 25th to get all the fighting out, because they want to start the new year with peace and hopefully carry the peace on for the rest of the year. I'm gonna tell you right now, Reese, if I'm in this village and somebody calls me out or I call them out and I get washed, oh, it ain't gonna be no peace. Ain't gonna be no piece of peace for a whole year. Oh no.
My thing is, there's got to be some rivalries. You know what I'm saying? Here come James and Tyrone again fighting. They don't never get over this shit. Oh,
there are a group of people that fight every year.
Every year, and it's a terrible fight.
It's the worst sloppy. You saw the old men fighting? Yeah. You saw the old men fighting?
Stop trying to bite them.
You don't got no teeth, no way.
Hey, but that's the thing, man. The fights were actually ref pretty good because those dudes would come in with them whips and get in. If you didn't follow the rules or you didn't stop or if the crowd wasn't backed up enough, they came in and swinging them whips like weed eaters.
You're absolutely right. I noticed that too. So,
Like,
let's skip ahead and for the sake of time, let's jump right into that fight setup. So, just imagine, okay, did you pay attention to how beautiful this side of Peru was?
Oh yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get into my screenwriting bag for a quick second. If I were to set the scene for Peru, just imagine a treetop covered row of God-given mountains surrounded by some of the clearest, bluest skies that you'll ever come across. And then when the clouds are in, the mountains are so high up that literally some of the mountains that you're standing on disappear into the clouds. Everywhere you go, it's just God's green earth, and there's not a lot of commercialized
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
It's still beautiful. It looks almost uncharted to a certain extent. Now take all that, and in the middle of two mountain ridges is this itty bitty little village. And on December 25th, this village then becomes a bowl of people chanting, cheering, and drinking while men, women, boys, and girls are in the middle fighting one-on-one at a time with refs holding whips, not only breaking up the fights when they're getting too out of control, but also doing crowd control.
Oh yeah.
They're
Oh yeah. They were controlling the crowd. One guy said, I didn't even do nothing.
Okay. And then my favorite part is, the funniest part to me of the whole thing was the guy that Vice chose to go down there and do this was definitely an old Harry Potter looking ass motherfucker. Am I lying, Reese?
Nah, that was him. That was him. I can admit, man, he was a good sport the whole time. You should have seen him dancing with the parades and stuff. Like, dude never stopped. I mean, he wanted to fit in.
The whole time. Yeah. The whole time he was dancing, chanting, and drinking. They kept.
Oh yeah, that dude. They wanted to get him slouched because everybody was bringing bottles up to him. Drink. Hey.
Drink. But you know what was cool? It seemed like that's what everybody was doing to everybody.
Oh yeah.
It was such a beautiful unison and melody to everything that they were doing, even though it was all leading up to this brutal battle royale type fight structure. It was crazy. So yeah, all right. So back to the fight. So as Reese was saying, you can be the challenger or you can be challenged, and you stand in the middle of these people in front of everybody you've ever known your entire life plus more. I think he said the village is about 300 people big year round, but then during Takanawa it turns into 3,000 people because all the other locals show up. So it's literally you versus this other person, and everybody can see. It's the worst version of a school fight.
Hey, it's like the live Broadway musical of World Star. Hey, everybody about to see you, brother.
Reese, that's so. I hate how accurate that is. That's funny. That is funny. Oh, yeah. Man. So he's right. It is like World Star on 1,000 to the max.
I mean, and back to the basics. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
back to the basics.
Yeah.
So now Reese was talking about what you wear. That's as close as to defense that you could wear. Besides, they would take these knitted scarves and wrap them around their knuckles and around their wrists. So I think to kind of like reduce some of that knuckle impact. But that was it. It was 3 pieces of cloth away from being a straight up bare knuckle fist fight.
Oh yeah.
You can kick, you can punch, you can't grab, you can't bite. I don't think you can spit, and you can't like wrap people up and slam them.
Yeah, I think it wasn't any ground and pound. Like if you got knocked down, the refs came in with the whips and were kind of protecting you. You know what I'm saying? Like stopped it. So there were, it was very organized madness at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it wasn't like just a savage, beat downs. I mean, it was a good fist fight. You know what I'm saying? It was fair. You got knocked down. You got a chance to get back up. Or if they thought you got knocked out, you're going to go ahead and stay down, So it was pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of Fight Club. You know how they had their rules and their code, and everybody like respectively followed it. And then each fight started with a hug, and then whether you got knocked down or knocked out, or you got that Nate Robinson treatment, when you got back up, it ended with a hug. Yeah. You would hug and go your separate ways, and
let it go.
That was the way it was supposed to end. So That part was really crazy to me. Did you have a favorite fight that you saw besides the main fight with our reporter?
The one that sticks out to me the most was when they showed one of those kid fights. Them kids were throwing hands, man.
Reese.
I mean, like, straight up.
Reese. There were two things I kept thinking the whole time. If I was born in this culture, how embarrassing. Which one's more embarrassing? You getting knocked out in front of your kid, or your kid getting knocked out in front of you?
Oh,
like,
hey, did you see that one where that dad carried his son over there?
Yes.
Too? And, you know, he had his mask off. They don't fight with their mask on. But he carried his son to the ring, you know, to the outside of the circle. And he said, boy, put your mask back on, boy. Out here crying, embarrassing me. Boy, he put that mask on fast, man.
Yo, that was this village's version of get up, Craig. Come on, Craig. Get up, Craig. Yeah, so man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wasn't bothered by the men fighting. I wasn't bothered by the women fighting. The women were throwing hands, and that one girl, I don't know who. Hey, whoever trained Nate trained her. She was not ready. She couldn't punch. She didn't have her guard up. And that girl socked her in the face 3 times. And she was sitting there just like grabbing air. I was like, is she going to fight? She ain't fighting back. Like, I was sitting there feeling so bad for her. And then they had the old drunk men who were out there trying to fight. But none of that bothered me. When that first fight in the first village between those 2 little boys popped off, I felt so bad because that one little boy, you could tell he didn't want to fight. That other one was ready. The other one's like, I've been waiting to beat your ass all year. And the other...
Well, I've been watching Ninja Turtles all year for this.
Okay, now here's what I do want to know. Do you think in this village, do you think the little boys are like matched against each other as like a rite of passage, or do they got like legit, you stole my my tricycle 2 months ago, now I'm gonna beat your butt? How do you think that happens?
Oh man, I don't know, man. They might have little beefs, man.
You think they got little boy beefs?
They might have a little.
Hold on.
Yeah, they might. Hey,
that's crazy. All right, now here's what he also didn't talk about. Do you think people be out there betting?
Got to.
Bet I be out there betting.
Bet I beat your ass. That's what he said. Step up. Bet I beat your ass. That's what...
Another Crime Mob song. I'll beat your ass, ho.
Oh man. Bet I will.
So yeah, we talked about the rules. We talked about the no gloves, and we talked about how the whole goal of this event is to start the next year off with peace by settling the differences at the end of Takanawa. So then that is the first village that it pops off in. Then after all of that, this village kind of is like the amateur hour. It's intense fighting. It's ugly. It's brutal. But it's still not the end of it. The next day, they go over to Yike, if I'm saying it right, which is a village a couple of paces over. And day 2 is where the big fights happen. This is where the best of the best fighters, the best of the best women and men of all ages get together and duke it out on an even grander scale. And these fights look much worse, look much more intense, and they look like you could hear the thuds and the thumps. Reese, have you ever really heard somebody get socked out?
I've heard somebody get slapped out.
Wait, slapped to the point they pass out?
It was a grown man. A grown man smacking somebody.
Oh, okay. And they actually slapped out, like.
And one slap. I mean, it wasn't slaps out. It was slap out.
Was it the kind of sound, or was it that baritone thud?
Yeah, I mean, it was crisp. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, it was. I don't know. And that's the thing. Dude was a big dude, and I feel like his hand wrapped around Buddy's face. You know what I'm saying? Like it was bad.
You know what? Hit me with a car. Shoot me in the knee. Not the knee, okay, but maybe in the thigh or the back of the leg. Punch me out. Don't slap me out, man. Don't do that, okay?
In front of my friends? You gonna slap me in front of my friends?
And then, Reese, I wear glasses, so you know the glasses are going.
Get slapped.
You know you're gonna hear this noise. You're gonna hear this. That didn't happen. That didn't happen the way it was supposed to. But you hear the. We don't need to hear the glasses getting scraped across the concrete.
And then you were put in a bad situation. You don't know whether to get up and keep on fighting or look for your glasses first.
I'm gonna get up like this.
No, I bet you almost want them to get knocked off because if you got smacked and they stayed on your face and they all jagged up, that makes it look.
Hey, what you supposed to do after that, man? You just need to get up and give up, man. That's it at that point.
Hey,
I'm gonna be like, all right, you won. I'm out. You got this one, man.
Do you? That's a big man right there. If you can turn around after getting smacked and just walk away, I don't know, man. Like, oh man, that's something.
All right, so I'll tell you real quick. The one time I can't remember seeing somebody get socked out. I didn't even see it. I just heard it. So I'm at my alma mater. We're playing basketball, and we're like in this intense intramurals league or rec league, I guess you would say, but within the college campus. And there was this guy who was on the basketball team the year before, but not anymore. I don't know why. But there were some dudes in there giving him hell, and they're basically like, that's why you ain't on the team no more, but in unfriendly language kind of way. He basically said, if you keep talking shit, I'm going to knock you out. And they were like, you can't knock them threes out. You definitely ain't about to knock me out. So then, he's like, all right, bet. So we get back into the game. We're playing. Dude's giving him work. He's putting up 10, 20 on the guy who got cut is putting up 10, 20 easy, right? So it comes to a point, fast break. Buddy's about to yoke. Got the ball cocked back. He's going up like Jordan. He gets undercut and falls on his shoulder, right? Man, I never seen somebody hop up so fast. And the dude that undercutted him, the primary S-talker, he was like, oh, what you really about to do? I'm turning around because I'm trying to get back down the court because I'm, me, I love basketball. I'm trying to play. Yeah. I'm like, y'all take that mess outside. Yeah. Man, it's one of them things where you see it, right? You cut the 180 halfway through that 180 because you're running back down the court. All you heard was, it just sounded like baby back ribs being slapped together in a church choir. And I turned around just in time to see that dude fall down in sections. I mean, the dude who was talking all the mess literally fell over head first. His body bent over like an Eminem arc, and then it collapsed in the middle. He fell down in sections, Reese.
That's the worst, man. I mean, that's one of my big. I've never, and I never will. I don't think so. Don't try me. I've never been in a fight before. I've never fought anybody before.
I have. I've won. I've won some losses.
And don't get me wrong, I boxed. You know what I'm saying? Like with gloves on. You know what I'm saying? But I've never had like a angry interaction with somebody like, let's throw these hands. You know what I'm saying? And whatever. Yeah. It could be bad. It could be good. But that's just me. But yeah. Wouldn't nothing be worse to get knocked out in front of your friends, in front of some cell phones, and you get them stiff arms?
Bruh, oh, when the body locks up.
Oh my God.
That's the worst. When your body seizes up.
That's the thing, man. Like, you see all these videos online and World Star and stuff like that. But that has to be the worst. And I remember me and my friends when we used to go out in our younger days to go to the clubs and stuff like that. Like, if that ever happens to us, lay on my arms. Get my arms down. Do not let people look at me with my arms straight up.
You out there doing the whole mummy?
Oh, yeah. Hey, we do this all the time. This is what we do. Do not let me. And you better confiscate every phone out that crowd.
Okay, that's good to know. So if you ever get socked out, make sure somebody sits on your arms. Okay. Yeah. If I ever die around you, just go through and delete all my history. Okay. We got it. We're on the same page now. Okay. Yeah. That is so funny. Y'all got a whole plan about getting knocked out.
If it happens, I mean, nobody wants to plan that it's going to happen. But if it happened,
so you're talking about getting knocked out in front of your friends, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about what if you got knocked out in front of Brylin, bro? Like, what if you got knocked out? and you got a long drive home. No, you don't. Your son is driving at that point.
Who is gonna drive home?
Your son is like, shut up and sit in the back seat. I'm driving now.
You want a Happy Meal? You want a Happy Meal? No.
You got Happy Meal money, Daddy? You got Happy Meal money?
Hey, we got food at the house.
Hey, Reese. He looking at you like, I'm the captain now.
Yeah, that'd be rough. That would be rough. That would be rough.
All right, so I'm gonna go with seeing my kids get knocked out is worse than me getting knocked out in front of my kids. I can come back from getting knocked out in front of my kids. Yeah, we'll make some laughs about it. We're gonna joke about it. But if I see my kid get knocked out, I'm going to jail or I'm going to hell that day because that other little kid about to get it. Yeah. And then I'm going to beat the other little kid up, and then I'm going to get beat up again probably because his dad's going to come over here and fight me, and I gave this other little kid all I got because that's all I got, man. So you'll be out here knocking my little kids out. Bump that.
Yeah, that's rough, man. That's rough.
It's a tough village. It is a whole tough village. Okay, so... yeah, I think we'll end it there as far as this is concerned. The only other thing that I wanted to bring up was the fact that Buddy really got in there. The little Harry Potter looking dude really got in there and fought. Mm-hmm. He got in there. He went out. He drunk with everybody. He stayed in that crazy hotel where they was throwing firecrackers at
badass kids.
Them kids was horrible.
Oh my God, them badass kids.
Yo, honestly, just to touch base on this real quick, it was a 1-bedroom hotel situation with a mini balcony all night long. It was his window was in front of a firecracker shop. All night long, these little kids was lighting firecrackers and throwing it into his bedroom the entire night. And then I think it was like a wake-up call is what it looked like the next day. They didn't wake him up with the adult of the hostel or the hotel coming and knocking and saying good morning, come downstairs. They sent the little kids up there. The little kids didn't knock. They opened his door, set a firecracker off, closed it in, and he got lit up in the room like Home Alone in them cans. It was so
man.
But yeah, so then at the end of the episode, he literally participates in Takanawa. He fights, and he gives it his all. He went out, he got the outfit.
It wasn't much, but he gave him his all. It was not.
He said he wasn't shit. He said he can't fight. So he got my respect. He got beat up by the guy who had a pet falcon, drove in on a motorcycle, and had 2 wives. And this dude was out.
Had long hair, too.
Had long hair. He looked like Joseph off King of the Hill. But
he wasn't too impressive either, though.
He wasn't. He couldn't fight.
But he did just get done fighting too, though. That was his second fight in a row.
Okay, so we'll talk about that real quick. Reese, they was pumping him up like he was about to come out there and put in work. I'm sorry, that other dude washed him.
Oh yeah, it was bad. Yeah,
that other dude beat him up. I was like, put your arms up, kick him, do stuff. He was out there just getting beat, hair flying everywhere. So he saw the gringo and took his anger out on him. Yeah. And, that's the other thing. The whole episode, they're calling him gringo everywhere he goes.
Hey, but didn't they call one of them people that was dressed up El Negros?
Yeah. So that was the thing too. A lot of these older traditions were centered around slavery. And so the rich, wealthy people in the neighborhood, in this village, owned slaves. And the slaves, according to this documentary, usually were darker skinned people. And so you would dress up back then, this was the one time of the year where the Negros could dress up as the masters and the masters could dress up as the Negros, and they would fight each other. But that tradition has continued where one style of dress for the fights is still to dress like a Negro. Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy. It was definitely crazy. I looked at my wife like, man, WTF when I saw that part. All crazy. So then, yeah, Buddy gets in there. He gets beat up, and he gave him a 2. Here's what was funny. He punched the local guy. He probably got him one time by accident. And up until that point, the local guy was letting him play, right? He was letting him kick, letting him punch. After that, he was like, oh, you ain't about to sock me out in front of my family, my 2 wives, my falcon, and my motorcycle. So then after that, he punched the kid and pushed him down. And then the documentary ends. And that was our introduction to Takanawa, if I'm saying that right. Reese, I got 2 questions.
Yeah.
At the end of the documentary, when the credits begin to roll and the reporter is talking about his experience, did you notice the itty bitty little boy who was like doing his little fight stance? He was like doing this, like did you see that part, or did you already check out?
I might have already checked out if it was at the end.
Oh, he was so ready. I was scared of that little 3-year-old. He was about to wash everybody. Part two. There's a part where that guy who was the historian or the teacher, they kept cutting to. At the end, he's like talking to Buddy while Buddy's doing his voiceover work. He's like looking at his glasses. He takes his glasses.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
He puts them on real cool and is like, oh, I can see. I'm wondering if Buddy got his glasses back. I'm wondering if he got his glasses back.
He said, come get him or meet me in the middle of the ring. It ain't too late.
What can you do? You're surrounded, brother.
Yeah.
Then make your glasses no more.
Nah.
You and your elevation sickness are done. So, while you at it, run me that really nice leather jacket you got. Give me them chaps you got. You don't need them.
Yeah.
You can keep your little hat, but everything else, mine. I'm the captain now. So yeah, that was what I picked up on. Now, main question before we get up out of here for tonight. Are you going to participate in Takanawa or not? If you were there.
Yeah, I think I'm going to adopt that.
You would actually... Shut up. All jokes aside, you would actually participate if you were like visiting?
I feel like it's one of those things. If you were ever to be in Peru and you had the opportunity, why not? When and ever in your life. Just like old Buddy, the interviewer, you know what I'm saying, the reporter. Just think of the stories he has in his life of fighting in Peru in this customary, custom that, that's the story, man. And sometimes you just gotta, I feel like you gotta be stopped, don't be scared. You know what I'm saying? Just go for it, and what happens, happens, man.
Hey, knuck if you buck then, baby. Knuck if you buck. Yeah, I think in my mind right now I wouldn't participate, but I'm also such a prisoner of the moment that once I'm there, I'm probably gonna go.
My thing is, I'm probably gonna outweigh everybody.
And you're bigger than everyone. And for y'all who don't know, Reese low-key is like a buff dude in his own way. I'm not gonna say he's like Captain Bodybuilder or nothing like that, but Reese has always just been a buffer dude. I think Reese would go down there and put in work. I think they would nipple twist me and take my stuff without punching me is what I think would happen. They would take my glasses too, probably. But I would give them what I got, though. That's for sure. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas. We thank you for hanging out with us again for another episode of the IDontBeKnowing podcast. And before we leave you all on this episode, I want to talk about our own personal traditions within our family. Reese, real quick, do you have a little anecdote there?
Man, this is our me and my wife and our family. We just purchased a home, and I think we're just really trying to create our traditions this year and like going forward. I mean, we do things all the time and stuff like that, like past Christmases, but I really want to buckle down and have something that we always do here now. You know what I'm saying? To keep it going. We've already, did some cookie baking and stuff like that. And of course, like a Christmas movie's on our TV every night. And I'm okay with that. I love Christmas movies. But yeah, man, we just, try to make it as joyful as possible, man. Even in this different year,
I love it. I'm right there with you. First of all, y'all heard that. My boy and his wife just bought a house. Congratulations on that. That's a big deal. I'm so proud of y'all.
Pay my mortgage.
Yeah, so like he said, you guys need to share. You guys need to subscribe so we could get those commercial slots.
Yeah. I need y'all to help me pay my mortgage.
Come on and help my man. Okay. Yeah, and yeah, I think that's cool. Your kids are still young enough to really get into it, and then y'all got the new house. This is the first Christmas in the new spot, so yeah, just think about that, man. Y'all have a good time. Get on Pinterest, brother. Surprise everybody. Walk around. You can be Reef Man Christmas Eve or something. Who knows?
I'm gonna be Krampus.
Don't do Krampus. Krampus is creepy, bro. Yeah, so for us, before we get out of here, mad short. Since I've moved out to California, all my family is back east. So I had to like kind of create my own little tradition. And we did something like this in my family. Every Christmas when I was in North Carolina, my mom would do this really big steak dinner for family and close friends. And the night would end with everyone going home. But of course, my friends would stay a little bit longer during the teenage years. And we would end up watching like horror movies and just like laughing and being crazy and all that good stuff. So when I moved out here, I kept the movie watching aspect of that. And it's grown into my family, my wife, our kids. Every Christmas Eve around 6 o'clock, we shut everything down. We put all the extra phones and devices away. And my twins are now 17, and my youngest kid is 15. Till this day, we still all look forward to selecting the Christmas movie. My wife will go out the week of. She'll make these pajama boxes full of goodies, our favorite snacks, pajamas, and we literally get in. We literally cuddle up and on the couches, and we would just watch a movie, drink hot chocolate until it's time to go to bed. And I'll post a picture on IG actually of our family last year in our little outfits. And Reese, you were there last year for the first half of it because I got to be home last year. We did the dinner part last year, and then when y'all left, we did the movie part.
I'm still in that.
Yeah, please do, man.
Yeah, I do remember being there. Y'all didn't feed me.
Boy, shut up.
But
Everybody ate.
But I was there.
Everybody ate. Your kids was over there smashing the s'mores. Come on, bro. Don't do me like that.
I wanted some of that steak.
Yeah. No, we didn't do steaks. We did pizza last year because it was on a budget. But hey, you make it out here next year when all this COVID breaks up, and we'll figure out the whole steak situation.
I'm so ready, dog. I'm so ready.
I need y'all to
come
out here on the West
You
Coast.
gonna eat it with me?
I'm gonna chew and spit it out.
Man, I thought
ain't about to have me going into the New Year constipated. No, sir.
And just I just want to throw this out here because we just started talking about this vegetarian or vegan or whatever. Actually, one of my besties, SB, she actually watched the last episode. I actually cooked meat for her the other day, and I thought that was like crazy for me wanting to be being a chef and stuff like that. For somebody that's been a vegan or a vegetarian for so long, and then cook a dinner and it has meat in it and they eat it, knowingly. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was pretty big. I don't know. I mean, I don't
big deal.
I don't hate on nobody that wants to be vegan, vegetarian. I will never force that. Even though I'm Mr. Smoking Meat Man, and but. I thought that was a pretty big accomplishment. I don't know if it's an accomplishment or not. Whatever. I'm tired.
No, I think it is. Are you basically saying you feel like the food was so enticing that she couldn't help herself?
No. It's just.
I think it was because when I look at the food that you prepare, I'm like, man, I wish I could. Now let me tell you. You said I don't know why people want to, or you don't disrespect anybody who wants to be vegan.
Yeah.
I don't want to be. My body does not process meat well. I get sick. That's why I don't eat meat. Yeah. So that's it. I miss meat. Bacon on a Sunday morning with some cheese and a tortilla with some eggs. A bacon burrito, boy. Oh my god! No, I ain't gonna start. Carolina brisket, I ain't gonna start. All right, Smoking Hills brisket. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get out of here. First of all, we want to thank you for listening. If you made it through this episode, we thank you so much. Reese, you had a good time.
I had a great time.
Man, I had a good time. My boy got straight off work, showed up, got the Christmas wreath on, and showed out on the podcast. Real quick, we plugged our social medias at the very top. But again, if you're looking for us on anything, you can usually find us at hashtag IDBK or hashtag IDontBeKnowing. And then, like I said, next episode, we are going to be going over the fact that I don't be knowing the smoke. Reese don't be knowing the smoke, but we have a special guest who's going to come on and talk to us all about the smoke. Which smoke? You got to come and find out for yourself. With that, I want to give a couple of shout outs to our production crew. Reese, I want to thank you for showing up, helping us with the sound technology today. That's our sound engineering technician today, ladies and gentlemen. Trox, I want to thank yourself for coming through with the stuff you do sometimes. And then also, I want to thank Reese for submitting the content. He came and rescued this episode because we were almost a little lost in the dark here. And I want to thank our wives for always making sure we're in a great mood before we get started. Marriage is beautiful. Hell yeah.
It's sinless.
Endless, sinless.
Let's be friends.
Hey, let's be friends.
Follow the I Don't Be Knowing podcast on all podcasts and social media platforms by searching #IDontBeKnowing.